Good morning, everybody. It is beautiful and cold morning here in Wyoming. I didn't vlog yesterday at all because I was doing something with the family, and of course it's not my story to tell, but just know that everything's okay. And so, sometimes life just happens, right? Like I always say, sometimes life kicks you in the face and you just got to deal with it. And I am here today, back to vlog. I am going to be working in my office today. I have to work with a budgeting client and then create my own budgets because I'm behind because of life's drama. And so I just wanted to film an intro just in case I'm actually vlogging. You guys will have to see how today goes. Just being 100% real here with you guys on my channel. So I'll see you a little bit later. You guys, we are here to make some boxed brownies. I got these for 99 cents. And the reason why I am making them is I got invited to dinner tonight, to a taco night, tacos, margaritas, and stuff. And boy, do I need it. Like I expressed in the intro, just things going on. And sometimes, I can tell you this, having adult children sometimes is so much harder than having younger children. And of course, the reason why is because they have adult problems. And so a lot of times people are like, we always think, or I try not to think, but as you're raising your kids and they're in the hard stages of their life, you're like, oh, I can't wait till they grow out of this, whether it be terrible twos or maybe a teenager that, is a little crazy or something like that. And then they become adults and you hope that you have raised them the right way to make the right choices in life and, to respect themselves and what they deserve in their life. And, those choices, right? I always tell my kids, life's about choices. And all choices have consequences. Some are good, some are bad, right? We always think about bad consequences, but sometimes they're good consequences, right? I know we don't think of the word consequences as typically a good thing, but, you can say that, some things that we do have good consequences, some have bad. And life is just hard. And all of us have different lives. We have different upbringings. We have different opportunities. And some of us have a support system in our life if we're lucky. Some of us do not. Bad things happen to good people all of the time. We see this, all the time. That is just life. And so I am thankful to, have what I have in my life. And I try to treat others the way that I want to be treated. And that's what I've taught my children. And I hope, like I said, that they make good choices. Good life choices. And so today, going to a taco night is a good thing for my mental health because of course, dealing with this thing that I've been dealing with for the past couple days. And it really weighed on me as well. I think a lot of us, especially if you are an empathetic person, it can really shock your world when things happen that are hard. And like I said, no details or anything because it's not my story to share. But just, to realize that stuff happens, right? Life happens. And I hope my children make good choices. That's really what that's about. So, box brownie mix. This is why I buy boxes of brownies and stuff when they're on sale. Here I am on a no spin challenge. Oh, and by the way, the pineapples that I bought are still sitting in the fridge, so those are a priority as well. But I'm going to get these brownies made so that they can be done for tonight, get them out of the way so I'm not stressing about that. And then I have to go work in my office because I have a budget client that I'm working with. If you watch my budgeting channel, I am working with Brianna, and she was sick. And then I had, my Christmas with my family. And then I was out of town on Monday because I went and got my mammogram. And then the past 2 days I've been dealing with this. So I am running behind for her. I have let her know what's going on and everything, and she understands, and family comes first. But I try very hard to, make sure that when I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I think that's very important in this world. And with this drama, you guys, I just did yesterday's daily game. I made it 147 days with a post every single day on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And unfortunately, I thought I was going to get home last night in time to film and put it up. I did not. I did not get home last night until about 10:30. And I could have done it last night, but I was so physically exhausted because I left my house at 6 o'clock that day. And it was a high stress situation all day. And, you know, I just was like, okay, I'll just deal with it tomorrow. And that's okay. I mean, you know, I said in my daily game for that one, I'm like, don't let things that happen in your life get you off of your goals, right? And I just spilled brownies all over the counter. So we're doing the brownies. The other thing I had mentioned to my friend is I'm like, what do you want me to bring? And I'm like, I've got guacamole in the freezer and I can make some brownies. And he said, sounds wonderful. So I grabbed out some discounted guacamole. I also grabbed out a discounted avocado verde. And I didn't ask if he wanted me to bring them, but I know he loves my jalapeno candy, so I grabbed a jar of that. And I have got one big jar of salsa left. This is from 2022. So it is on the must-eat list, so I thought I would grab this. And I think my sister-in-law has been tasked with bringing chips and salsa. So if she hasn't bought salsa already, I might tell her that I've got this salsa because I want to take it and use it. Because when it's just Bridger and I don't like opening these big jars because we can't eat them. All right, let me get these brownies fixed. I got to go work on that budget, like I said, and I'll see you guys a little later. Well, here I'm sitting in my office. I've gotten some stuff done. I got the budget done for Brianna. I also gathered all of the tax information for my husband's business that is no longer together, unfortunately. Due to the court action and stuff, we were still paying, so we still have to file taxes for that. So I got that done. And then this week I need to start gathering all of my business tax stuff, but it's not as important to get that done right away because I have to wait on some documents and stuff like that. So tax time, always a lot of fun. That is one thing that people don't think about when they want to start their own business is what the tax liability is. So if you are interested in starting your own business of any sort, I do encourage you to speak to an accountant. Stop it! Here I am in my office. We are getting some stuff done. It's feeling so good to get things done. I love that sense of satisfaction with being able to cross something off of a list. Oftentimes, if I have my list out, I will add something to the list to be able to cross it off. And so today I did finish up Brianna's budget. I am currently working on Mr. Snow Gardener's budget right here, but I got sidetracked with that budget because I wanted to get his old company's tax stuff together for that. Some of you guys may not know the story on that. My husband went into partnership with another gentleman. Well, I don't know if I'd call him a gentleman, but that's another story. He went into business with somebody else. It did not end well. There was lawsuits and such, and unfortunately his business partner embezzled money and owes us a bunch of money, and now we're in lawsuits. Not with him even, with customers. So it has really hurt, and now one of the cases is settled, which is good, and we still have one more though, and once we're done with this one, then hopefully we can put this behind us. And, you know, lessons learned, right? We're always learning lessons in our life. And you think that you're going into business with somebody that you can trust only to find out that you can't. So just make sure on that. Another thing too is, of course, I'll have to start compiling all of my Snow Gardener taxes. Now, I tried to use QuickBooks this last year. I've used QuickBooks in the past because I've done payroll and stuff for companies, but it's been quite a while. You know, a couple decades since I've done payroll, and I hate the new QuickBooks, and I paid a pretty penny to get it last year, and I could not get it to work for the way that I do my business. And what I mean by that is you guys see how I have sinking funds, right? So I take money from my pay, put it into savings accounts to pay for products, to pay for taxes, to do that type of stuff. That doesn't correlate with QuickBooks. And I'm sure there's probably a way to do it, but I just gave up, and I have a spreadsheet. It's much easier for me. I am a small business. You know, if I get to a point where sometime I have a great big huge business and a gazillion employees, I'll have an accountant to do all of that stuff. But that's not my plan. I want to be a small business and continue on. Of course, I do want to grow, and having a couple part-time employees would be amazing. So I'm going to continue working. I need to do Mr. Snow Gardener's budget. His payday is today. I have not done my Snow Gardener budget nor my own personal budget either. And with dealing with life the past couple days, I got behind on those. So those might not be filmed. I don't know. We'll just have to see, but we need to get our finances in order because that is important. I want to show you guys what I got at the thrift store. I told you guys I got some jeans and I got the splatter screen. So I did get the splatter screen for $1.50. I need to go ahead and get it washed up, but it looks like it's brand new. Somebody probably bought it, maybe used it a time or two, and then decided they didn't like it or whatever, and it sat there. So I'll get that washed up. That was $1.50. Now, I was expecting to spend way more than I did on these 3 pairs of jeans. And they're all completely different fits. They're in good shape. When I check my jeans, I check the thighs because you guys know I like to do those. I like to wear through those. I check the bottoms of the pants because I wear them enough. I don't need to have holes in the bottoms. And then I generally just look at them to see how they are. So let me tell you how these were marked. These American Eagles were marked for $6. When I tried them on, I was like, what is going on with these American Eagle jeans? They're American Eagle Airflex Plus is what they say. Great shape. I've already washed these, you guys, and taken the tags off, but $6. And so I was like, why are these jeans all weird like this? I'm like, this doesn't make sense, right? Well, then when I looked in here, I saw that somebody had sewn or had put patches on them. But you can see that they're starting to come off. They weren't sewn on or anything. They were obviously ironed on patches. And so I told the lady, I said, wow, these have patches in here. And she goes, oh my goodness, I didn't see that when I marked those. Let me go ahead and give you a discount on those because, you know, they're not, if somebody's altered them, we generally have them lower. So these were marked for $6. So I got them for $3, you guys. And I told her, I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, they'll be fine. I was just trying to figure out what was wrong with them. She said, yep, not a problem. So I got these for $3. Obviously, I've almost got this patch off. I don't want to mess the jeans up by taking the patches off. So I might wait until they start pulling off on their own. Like, that's quite easy, but that's what I'm going to do. So $3 for this pair of jeans. And super excited about that. They're in great shape. You know, the thighs are perfectly good. And of course, I told you guys, that's why I need to buy new jeans. And then I went ahead and grabbed these Luckies. These are a Lucky brand. They are a sweet and low is what they say. These are in great shape as well. And the thighs have a tiny bit of wear, but not much. Checked on the bottoms. We've got a little bit of wear, but nothing too bad. I don't mind this at all because I'll go through that as well. So these Luckies were marked as $15. Okay, keep that in mind. So $15 for these. And then I went ahead and got this pair as well. And I don't know, is this Vigos? Is that how you guys say that? And these are a little bit big, but there's days sometimes when you feel a little bloated or whatever that I'm like, you know what, I just want a comfy pair. Also a great pair to travel in, stuff like that, but they're super cute. And these are called the Dallas, and these are straight. Now, if you look here, they do have a little bit of this coming off, stuff like that. This lady doesn't care. Again, looking at the thighs and the bottom, still good. Now, another thing that I noticed after I had already bought them is they do have this right here in the middle of them. And so when I went to look, let me see if I can find it. Okay. So I was thinking something was, it's just a little hole, but you can barely see it. So I probably shouldn't have gotten them because of that hole, but let me tell you guys what I spent on everything. So I told you that, of course, the splatter screen was $1.50. She told me $3 for this pair. This pair was marked as $15. This pair was marked as $10. So that should have been $25, $28, $29.50. I only paid $16.50 for these. And so even though this pair has a hole in it, still a great deal. We've got a piece of Happy Mail. I got this from Jacqueline, and I actually messaged Jacqueline. She's one of my YouTube members because it has her name on it, but my address. So I wanted to make sure that something hadn't went awry. And she said, nope, that is for you and Mr. Snowgardener. I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, I wish Mr. Snowgardener was here. I've had this for a couple days already. Mr. Snowgardener is not here. Woo! Careful, that knife is sharp. Mr. Snowgardener is not here, and I can't wait any longer, you guys. I have to open this up to see what it is. So we've got packing bubbles. We love packing bubbles. And, oh, what is this? No wonder there's so many packing bubbles in there. Okay, can I open this? What is this, Jacqueline? Where's that knife at? Be careful, that one's sharp. That's not the one I normally open it with. Oh, it's pure Vermont maple syrup. Can you guys see that? I hope so. Pure Vermont maple syrup. Is there 2 of them? Oh my goodness. I think there's 2. There is. Oh my goodness, Jacqueline. Thank you so much. I am excited. I am so excited. I have never purchased anything like this for myself. Now, we do buy real maple syrup, but we buy it from Sam's, so it ain't no pure Vermont maple syrup. And of course, I'm sure this is from a smaller company here. Oh, look at that. Pure Vermont maple syrup. This is from Pure Gold Sugaring LLC in West Burke, Vermont. puregoldsugaring.com. A huge thank you for Jacqueline. And you guys, I'm going to try to remember to at least take some video at my friend's house. I won't take a picture of them, but I'm going to try to take a picture of like the food and stuff we're eating. And then that will probably be it for today's vlog. But we're getting back on track, getting vlogs done, and that's what matters. All right, you guys, I hope to see you in a little bit. Here is the end of my night. I had a great time with friends. We had a taco night. We enjoyed each other's company. And there's just something about laughter that helps heal the soul.